Hello. Good morning. It's painting time. I have so much to do on this piece. For a second, I thought I had paint on me already, and I'm like, that is impossible. I haven't touched anything. Thanks, everyone. I did get partner the other day, which is exciting. So, thanks to Chaz for double checking on something. Sapphire Becca says, paint magnet. It feels that way sometimes. Swiffer Super says, my last mouse stream in my current place. Ooh, good luck on moving. I'm still eating this breakfast, and I'm not happy about it. I feel like lately my appetite just tanks at random times, and I don't want to eat. I haven't quite figured it out. I do wish I had water, and I don't have water. I have coffee. So, when Steven gets up, he's going to be getting me water. Actually. Text Steven. When you get up, can you get me water? Lunar Pearl says, do we need to ping him? I pinged him, it's good. So, my plan today, he says yes, is to, put in, like, the Milky Way clouds here, and then do star. Because, I could have done the stars on this when I did that day, but I didn't want to splatter paint in the other room. I can splatter paint in here. So, I'll be able to get that done. And I painted this last time and I didn't like it, and I kind of went back over it because I wasn't happy with the transition through these gradients here, and it's much better on the second one. And this dried so dark. Like, it looks probably black on camera, but it's like this very, very deep purple. It's neat. Dishnet. Oh god, that is a big canvas. It's so big! Like, diagonal, it's a 50-inch TV. Because that's how they measure TVs. It's huge. So I am looking forward to getting it starting to come together. Similar to the fruit punch painting, where it felt like things would just start to pop into focus, kind of. That's kind of how I feel this is going to be because of this underpainting. Like, once the sky is done, it'll be like, ooh, look at that. And then, like, once the mountains get done, like, it'll start to really build up on itself. And I did have to drop my shelf here that the canvas sits on. Normally it sits like about here when I paint, because I can reach everything in this area. But I'm working up here, so I dropped it so it was easier to reach and that you could see it. And then when I start on the mountain, I'll probably raise it up a little bit. Now I have the hiccups. And then we'll keep lifting it as I paint more and more down here. This looks very Don't Talk to Me or My Son right now, doesn't it? That's kind of how it's going to look. The gradient on this is different than what I did on big canvas. It's just a little different. Just making sure there's nothing pressing that I needed to respond to on my phone. We have a subscription from DMY Nerd 76. Welcome in. 16 months from Pete Cal, 16 months from Chrissy G, 11 months from Chill Days, 3 months from Strawberry Hearts, and 16 months from DishNet34. Thank you all for the resubs. And then 510 bits from Anise, who said, congratulations on partner. Can't wait to see what the alerts and emotes that will be happening in the future. Thank you. I'm very excited to get partner. The best thing is people can now select their quality level. Like if your internet is not great for some reason on a day, you can drop it. That was the big thing we were wanting to have. On Wednesday, Chaz was like, if you have any alert ideas, let me know so I can work on them. And then, I don't have very concrete ideas. I have, like, vague ideas. I'm like, maybe something with this, but I need to flesh it out a little bit more before I give it to him. So, there will be more coming. Did I not stir this? This is not sweet at all. That's better. Steven did get me a cake last night. I had been out, and when I got home, there was cake. No brownies, though. No brownies. There was cake. Chaz says cake. Chaz, come get cake after a meeting. Were there raspberries? No, there were no raspberries. All right. Oh, I'm gonna have to replace this cable soon. All right. First thing I need to do is I need to draw in like the darker spot and paint that. And then I need to paint these clouds. So, where is my sketchbook? The studio is a mess right now because I have 2 palettes out, 2 sketchbooks, this little canvas, and then like everything else. We have a 9-month resub from Kirdelia. Thank you. All right, there's sketch. Oh, that's not the right sketch I want right now. I want this sketch right now. So, obviously I've lost a little bit of like where these sit. That's fine. I did that on purpose because I needed to bring this down a little bit so that when I paint in, I paint on it a little bit. Thank you, Elfie. Elfie gifted 5 subs. Thank you for the gift subs. They went to Hannah, Hannah A777, Eric Peterson, Tiger 413, Roll Bear, and the Arctic Huntress. Thank you for the gift subs. So congrats on partnership. Thank you. So I did sketch this from this mountain peak instead of like the big one because I thought it would look strange coming off the big one. But to be fair, I have all this space to play with. I can do whatever I want. And I should probably at least give myself a little indication of where these are going to sit. Yeah, this one's totally gone in sketching, or in painting over this. Where is... Oh, I didn't favorite that. Shoot. That was a mistake. Let's go do that. There. Okay. Now back to Milky Way reference photo from NASA. So I think I'm going to have it coming out of this area, which will give me the most space to put it. And I'm getting the worst glare right here from this light. So you need to move this way. And there's a tiny, like, fruit fly flying around or something. Okay, so my plan for this is when I had done this one, I'd painted it dark in the center, and I do think that was the right call. I just think I made it too dark down here. I think it needs to fade more. So I have more of this color, this deep purple color, and my plan is to paint it in this way and then just use more glazing liquid as I get down here to make it more transparent. We have a few more bites of yogurt. Happy birthday, Kaze Ninja. Enjoying day one of my birthday weekend. Awesome. Chris Salim says, I have to go grocery shopping. I've been craving yogurt for a week now. Who called me? Not a number I know. All right. So I still have this cup. Oh, that was a terrible noise. I still have this color on my palette. And we are going to be using glazing liquid. And what brush do I want? Yeah, this one seems good. Should probably put water conditioner in. So one of the things I've been noticing about this biggest canvas is that everything dries on it much faster than I expect it to, which has kind of been frustrating. But like there's so much surface area that by the time I get anywhere, this is already dried, but it feels more extreme than normal. And I have some theories on that. One is which this room was really hot the other day. It finally cooled down a little bit here in Raleigh. So my thought was like this room was hot, it was drying faster. But also, I've done 3 coats of gesso on this and the underpainting, so I feel like it should be sealed, but maybe it just isn't sealed enough. So that's one of my other thoughts I have. So I'm starting with just the glaze right here. And then I'm gonna pick up some of this color. With glaze on it. And then we'll grab that and we'll start to blend that into this. What is this painting called? I haven't decided yet, Mr. Zip. Steven asked me, he's like, do you have a name for it yet? And I'm like, I don't. Yeah, that is a tiny little drain fly or fruit fly or something. Just call it big painting. Milky Way Mountain? Okay. So we filled that in. Although I suppose we should bring a little bit down here. Chrisellium says, I was thinking Milky Way Dreams, but I'm pretty sure that's the name of an actual level in Kirby or something. Milky Way Wishes, I think? Yeah. All right, so we have that in now. So next I need to start adding these clouds, and I was using the same color for this with titanium white for that. Like that's what these are, is the raw umber. Let me mute this. Okay. Raw umber. This needs to be tube ringered because I have like destroyed this tube and it's much easier if I ring it out. There we go. What I need to do is just like clear off this desk because this is driving me crazy. You go here. Paper towel. The purples I have for the sky gradient. Sketchbook. All right, so I have two sketchbooks out for this. I have this one, which is my old sketchbook I've been doing swatches on, or like testing. And then this one is my new sketchbook where I have the actual sketch. But I've been doing swatches in here because like this was the sky color, but I didn't swatch the new sky color. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab a little bit of this and swatch on top of those swatches. Where is Steven? Maybe in bed. Maybe he's up yet, I don't know. Okay, now, cloud time. Where's my tube opener though? Oh, that's the thing that fell on the floor the other day that I never picked up. Wherever Steven is, Kepi likely is. That is true. Kepler did pick my lap the other day, which was weird. Steven was right there. And like, he does that on stream, he'll pick me, but otherwise he does not pick me. Alright, and I need titanium whites. I almost just spilled one of my paint water cups. That would have been disastrous. This one needs wrung out too. I am excited. The weather is slightly cooler in Raleigh this week than it has been. I thought about going out for a bike ride this morning, but that was not going to happen based on last night, so. I slept in. Alright, coffee, go over this way. You don't need to be out anymore. Blizzard Crimson can go away. Phthalo Blue can go away. You'll probably need to come back later because I'll have to do mountains and that's going to be quite blue. Alright, so for these clouds, I had been using... Was I using a bristle brush? Let's see. You guys are all decent options for this. Maybe not this biggest one. I wish I had something in between that was bristle. Maybe you, the 1 inch. Maybe this one. I'm not used to painting so big, so I feel like I don't have the right brushes for it. Yamadorgan says, I went on a 2-hour bike ride yesterday and it started raining. I got wet. See, I'm like, oh, then I don't have to wash my bike, but then all the dirt gets kicked up and sticks to my bike. Circle Now Squared says, time for a new brush. Where do you get your brushes? I get my brushes from wherever. I don't really have a great answer for that. I switched to this brush. This brush I've had since college. I bought this at the art store in where I went to college, and it's served me very well. So I am just dry brushing this, which means I'm not using a ton of paint on the brush. I'm just kind of letting it land where it lands. And feathering it out as I need to. Old reliable, it sure is. It's been through a lot. I did not treat my brushes in college as well as I do now. So this one's been through a lot. And I wish it's a Winsor Newton something, but I feel like, I don't know, maybe I need to go see and buy a few more of these Winsor Newton ones and see if I like them. So I'm trying to just fill this in and then I'll brighten it up. I should probably swatch this a little bit. All right, now I'm going to work on the other side. That was way too much white paint. And like this part is brighter, but I'm not ready to start moving that bright yet, so I have to be careful. And I'm basically just trying to hide this edge between the sky and the dark part of this. Probably should have pulled my hair back today. All right, it's coming together. I don't love it yet. I have to figure out why. I think I just need to build it more with more clouds. So we're gonna do that. I have to be careful not to make it too bright because then the stars won't stand out. All right, let's go back up here. I think, still trying to figure out why I don't like this part. That helped. I think I like it. I think what I need to do is grab the top of the canvas . Ugh, it's so heavy. And then I think I also want to bring in a little bit more closer in some of these areas. Cause like, yeah. I think now what I want to do is there's a little bit of a violet that gets brought in a little bit. And there's a little bit of this color also. I don't know if I like that. Let's fix it. Better. Okay, I think I want to bring in a little bit of the violet. So what I need to do is I need alizarin crimson because the color I have on my palette is way too blue. So we're going to take a little bit of that and a little bit of this darker sky color. I think you're too desaturated, so I think I need phthalo. We also might be switching brushes for this. Because I think this one might be too big for what I want. Yeah. New brush time. Let's see. All right, so I've mixed up a violet, and I want to bring a little bit of this in, if I can see it. I don't know if I like this bristle brush. No, I don't like this bristle brush. Let's see. Maybe I don't want a bristle brush. Maybe I want this guy. Because I think I used a soft when I was doing the little canvas. So inside of this area, there are like some clouds and like where some stars sit, and they're a little bit more violet. Yeah, I think I like this brush better. Maybe I should have not gone with a bristle for this. All right, because I like this way better, we're going to switch and do a little bit more with the umber clouds with this brush, because it looks better.
I heard that you thirst.
I do.
Do you have a...
I have a water bottle on my desk, and there's also one on my nightstand. Okay, I was looking for the pink one. It may not be on my desk. Maybe it's downstairs, but the white one is on my nightstand.
Yeah, you don't have any water on your desk, but I'll get the one off your nightstand.
Okay.
Also, dang.
Yeah? You like it?
Yeah. Yeah, that's good.
Thank you. Yeah, switching to this brush was the right call. So I'm basically just kind of cleaning up all of these edges. And softening them from the bristle marks. Okay, that looks way better. That helped. That's not my water dish, that's my pencil shavings dish. Okay, much happier with that. My pencil shavings dish is right next to all my water dishes. Now it's time to add stars. Okay, where did you go? There you are, right in front of me. As long as it's nothing edible, that's true. Toothbrush. My worry with this is I'm used to using this on smaller canvases and that the stars won't be big enough. But here's the thing, we can do a layer of these tiny stars and then, I don't know. I do have other things I can try. I can also hand draw in a few bigger stars. Or a lot of bigger stars. Sometimes when I open these, they do like a pop of paint bubble and that gets everywhere. Didn't happen that time. All right, how do I want to do this? Do I want to start over here and then focus here, or focus here and then go over there? I think focus here first. I should grab this and put some water on it preemptively. And then I should also take my watch off. When Steven comes back, I need water in this too. Because what's going to happen is I'm going to get white paint all over my hand. That's inevitable. So good. See, this is why it's inevitable. Hi again. I also need spray bottle water. I'll set that wherever. My hands are full of paint. Right there. See spray bottle right next to that?
Yeah.
I need that filled.
Okay.
Thank you.
I fed the boy.
Is there a reason I don't wear gloves? Noah says. Yeah, because I use my nail, and I can't really use my nail if I have gloves on. Careful.
That's fine, it's just my foot. I have another one.
Okay.
There we go. Wow.
Thanks.
Yeah, that's looking really good.
Thanks.
Well, bye.
Bye. Here's the thing, I don't want to overdo this, because you can quickly overdo it. Okay, let's move this way and put a few over here. I can start to see which direction they're flying once I get a few out there off the brush. And then I can like turn it and kind of control it a little bit. The sides are hard because aiming that is slightly more difficult. Okay, other side, and then top of canvas. I'm really happy with the right side, all the stars. I think I need to bring a few more in here. Okay, now it's time to move into the top of the painting. This sucks, I hate this. MCL Blue says, I don't know why, but I find it really funny. I hate it. All right. Chair, please cooperate with me and don't spin too much, because that would suck. Okay, I can do this and not like fall or hit the mic too much. A lot of this got like residual splatter from doing everything else, so the top is actually quite good already. It's also occurring to me that I didn't paint the water reflection of the sky all the way. Okay, that's actually really good up there. See, I got this really big one right here. That's fine. I'm going to put some bigger ones in with a paint marker. I think I'm happy with that for the random ones. Now it's time to get my hands slightly cleaner so I don't have paint everywhere. I will wash with soap later. Yeah, I'm glad I took my watch off because I have this all up my arm. Tiny white specks of paint. I'm glad I'm doing this now because even though I just put this polish on like a few days ago, I already lost one. The pinky nail popped off completely like 2 days ago. So I will probably just take all the polish off this weekend. And I wasn't even using a peel-off base coat. It's a regular base coat. Okay, that's most of that. Good. Okay, now I want to add a few bigger stars. We will use paint pen for this. So like in the NASA photo, there's a huge one like right here. It's going to take a second to get this flowing exactly like I want. And some of these aren't quite round, they're a little more oval, which is fine. I'm just going to round them out by tapping on them a little bit more. Okay. This one, I think, needs to be bigger. Okay. I think that's a good mix. I don't want to overdo it, so I'm going to leave it alone. I might add more later. In the meantime, I'm going to work on redrawing these mountains till I'm happy with them. After I move some paint. Where is paint sheets? Over here. I Spy Moose says, anyone who is crafty or loves giving gifts, do you ever get your best ideas or best work when you're under a time crunch or procrastinating? I'd say yeah for myself, but it's been a long time since I've been under a time crunch. This is the first thing I'm under a time crunch for in a while. I think I might brighten some of these areas too. I think that's what I might do at some point. But I don't have to do that now. All right. Mountain reference time. The cool thing about doing these stars is they dry pretty quick. Like, these are on here. So that's nice. I don't have to deal with them as much. So what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to draw in... I think what I want to do is I want to draw in the silhouette of the mountain. Paint it a... Well, it's going to kind of be a gradient where it's like light blue-gray for the shadows up here and getting into a darker blue-gray for the shadows down here. And then do the palette knife snow trick and bring in the highlights that way. I think that's what I want to do. I think that would be best. So we're going to start with the mountain peak. And like, this will get a little changed up because I'm going to paint it. So it's going to kind of get a little funky as I'm filling it in, and that's fine. So like if it's, I don't want it to have such a straight, harsh line, I'm going to kind of vary it a little bit. I just need to make sure I cover what I'm trying to cover with this. All right, that feels natural, and I'm not trying to mirror it. I'm trying to make it different on both sides. So I think that's good. I do want it to kind of have a center and an equal, but not mirrored. So maybe I'll bring this guy up a bit taller. Okay, so my plan is light blue-gray, and then down here, I have to kind of fill in that much with my darker blue-gray. Okay. Now, which palette am I switching to? I think the gray one. Actually, I'm gonna switch to this one because this one has not been cleaned off in a while. This was like Aurora stuff, I think. And I think all of these are totally dried out, which is understandable and totally fine. They're just tiny little drops of paint. And the other thing I should consider after I fill this in with my gradient is I should start on the water a little bit. I need to let that soak for a minute. We have 300 bits from Tokunut who says, so I was wondering something. If you weren't streaming this painting, would I be done faster or would I take a bit more time even though there's a deadline? I don't know. I'd probably be done faster. But also, like, if I have to, because I want to get a time lapse of paintings, so I'm going to have to either record it or stream what I'm doing on it. So like one of my thoughts is going live whenever I need to make sure I get it done, even if it's at like weird times of day or for a while in the morning or something. Like I said before, in case people missed it, I do have to mail this to where it's going. And because I'm doing that a different way than I normally do, where I'm unstretching it and rolling it, I think I'm going to do a stream of me packaging it so you can see how I'm doing that. And I guess we'll see how it fares. A lot of people do that when they ship paintings, is they unstretch them and mail them rolled. but it's never something I've wanted to do because to get a canvas restretched is a whole thing, and I don't know if I wanted to have people deal with that. Because then, like, that's an added cost you have to do. So you're either paying it in shipping or you're paying it to have it restretched by someone else. But as for extra streams with this piece, it's really going to depend on how things go. Like, I felt like I fought with the gradients that I was doing on Tuesday for this. Like, I don't know, I just fought with it and it was frustrating and it wasn't really doing what I expected it to do. But like, these clouds and these stars turned out really well. The mountains may go super great. I may fight with them and be frustrated. I don't know yet. Maybe I'll get really frustrated at the water and it'll take way too long. So, we'll see. Some days everything just works really good and sometimes it just doesn't. And that's part of it. It's part of the whole process. Alright, so we are doing a grayish blue color for this, and we're starting with like a light bluish gray and fading to a darker bluish gray. So I'm gonna stick with phthalo blue green shade because that's been the bluish color I have in here. So if I keep using phthalo blue green shade, it's going to unite the whole piece. So like when I get to the trees, that will probably be the blue I use in those also, because it's going to bring a whole view color unifying harmonious look to the piece. So I'm sticking with phthalo blue green shade. I should maybe consider ordering more of this. So let me take care of that. What am I doing? Art supplies. Phthalo blue, green shade. Why are you the 2 ounce? I want the, what are you? What are big tubes? 5 ounce. 5 ounce. Does anyone accidentally hit the microphone button instead of return all the time? Okay. Everyone, all the time. All the dang time. Alright, so I have phthalo blue. Now I need to tone it down. So what happens when you do landscape paintings is things that are far away tend to be more gray with atmospheric perspective because the atmosphere is giving a haze. So this needs to be more gray, and this will be less gray. Not the water, but like the rocks here, and like this peninsula of land and trees will be less gray than this one. And this will be less gray than this stuff back here. So I need to be very careful that I'm not doing this saturated. And you know what's great is I have a lot of grayish color on this palette from the sky that I'm just going to use so it doesn't go bad. And it is purple, so we're just going to add some of this blue to it. And we're going to tone it down with probably a little bit of orange. So let's see, a good opposite color of phthalo blue is probably the raw sienna, not sienna, umber. I should probably order more of that too. Raw umber. Okay. Big painting, lots of paint. Slightly frustrating. Part of the process. Okay. So, I have this light violet. I need to make it way more blue. So I'm gonna take a bunch of it and consider how much paint is on this canvas already. And just keep adding the phthalo blue to it. This is too light. So like this color could be like the brighter snow, but I need to make my base color first and then I can lighten it up with titanium white for the snow. But the snow is going to go on top. So I'm going to darken it with more blue and raw umber, because umber is going to tone down the blue and make it more neutral, more gray. And apparently slightly green, so maybe I can add just a little bit of alizarin. Yeah, this is way too green. And that's because I'm using phthalo blue green shade. But if I add the alizarin, alizarin will neutralize it also because it's quite green and opposite of green is red. We are getting a little frosting-like in the consistency because this is an older color that I mixed up last time. So I'm just going to add some slow dry to this. I still think it looks a little green. And I'm thinking that it's still not dark enough. So we're adding more blue, and I might throw a little bit of phthalo blue red shade in, because it's still phthalo, but it's slightly more of a denim blue. Alright, it's feeling way too saturated again, so I need to add some sort of orange. You're too yellow. Let's add some quinacridone. Anise says, does the shade of phthalo affect the undertone of the color? It does. Like, I feel like at some point recently I swatched all my phthalos. I should have thrown some Prussian blue. That would have been a smart idea. These are the new... Golden changes up their labels every so often, and also based on where you buy it, they tell you different things on it. Not that the information is wrong, it's just there's less information sometimes. So I don't remember where I've gotten these two ones from separately, but the backs of this one, this is Phthalo Blue Red shade, and this is quinacridone. This has like a chart of information about it, and this one just has less information. And I asked about it at one point. I messaged Golden, I was like, hey, why? And they were like, oh, some places just don't want all that information, so we don't print it on every tube. We just print it on some. How are we faring? Still quite green. Let's use Prussian, because it will make it darker. And Prussian has phthalo blue in it, but it also has Doxine Violet and Bone Black, so it's slightly darker. And we're trying to make this darker and grayer, so both of those will help. I might grab Bone Black to add into this. It's a very neutral black, like it's not as heavy tinting as like Mars. But this might have just come together with just a little bit more of that. Let's see. It still feels so green. I think that's what I don't like about it. I want it to shift around the color wheel towards blue, but not get any more saturated. Alright, where is Bone Black? Nope. Payne's Gray might work. What are you? You're Ultramarine and Carbon. Nope, don't want that. Neutral Gray. Brown. Mars. Am I out of Bone Black? Maybe. It wasn't a color I used much of. Okay, I think I have it where I want it to be. So we're going to start laying this down. And then as I get towards the bottom, I'm going to do a wash of a darker color and bring that up from the bottom. Okay, good. Now I need a good brush for this. This guy. I should also swatch this. Come here, sketchbook. Mountain color. So I'm filling all of this in. And it feels so saturated against this. Dang it. That's fine. I can always go over it again. I can also mix some gray into it right away. So we're gonna do that. Saturation strikes again. I'm not working on the gray palette. I'm working on it's like an off-white palette. The gray palette helps you see color a little more true. That's better. There's Bone Black. I don't have much of it left. That's okay. We're gonna mix up our own Prussian blue hue, which I have Prussian blue hue, but I want a slightly different ratio than what it's giving me. Because Prussian blue hue is Bone Black, Doxine, and Phthalo. There's so much paint on this palette right now, but I have so much mountain to fill in. Okay. You are less saturated. Noah says, it's giving incorrect ratio. And I think that's the end of the bone black. I think I picked that color up when a local art store went out of business, like in 2020. And it's not normally a color I would have or buy. Okay, how do we feel about this? It is more desaturated, but it is, I think too light. Yeah, it needs to be darker. All right, I'm gonna break out the Mars black and give in to using black paint. So we're going to be very careful because this is a high tinting color that will very quickly overwhelm the mix I have. So I'm adding little bits and then mixing it in and seeing how it goes. And then I can always add more. But taking away from this pile of a lot of random colors, I can't do that, so. We're getting there. Okay, that's better. I fixed it. It still feels so green. Ah. See how green that looks? Let's fill it all in. And we can always do a wash of something less green. This is a scary trust the process moment, Andream says. Yeah. I didn't mix that in quite so well. Let's blend that out. It is, but like I can just paint back over this. So it's not that scary, it's just a little scary. This handle on this brush is long, and it keeps getting in my way. Okay, well I have the silhouette of the mountain done. And I'm gonna do a swatch of this paint in Sketchbook so I can do a sample of if I want to do a wash over this or not. Where is a good page to do that? Over here. Okay, there. Now when that dries, I can do swatches on that to see how I feel about it. I can also test how I want to blend it down here because it needs to get darker down here. Okay, well there's the silhouette. I should probably also draw in this down here at some point, so I know where that goes. Okay. Let's start by making sure I don't lose this paint by putting it in a pile and covering it. And plastic wrap. Okay. While this is drying, and so is the test sample that I can do some washes over to practice what I want to do, I do want to brighten up a little bit in here. And I'm going to do that with, I need my other palette back. I don't need this one anymore for today. This one back. And then I have to put more paint on it. So what I'm trying to do is just brush on a little bit of brightness in some of these areas. One of the other thoughts I had was to put more of the light pollution over here to brighten this up. And if I'm going to do that, I need to do that before I do more to the mountain, which is fine. But I don't know if I want to do that because, like, this is so nature that I don't know if I want to have that much light pollution, honestly. So I'm just mixing up a little bit of the lightest color for the clouds, really making sure I don't have much on my brush at all. And then just brightening some of these areas. And I couldn't do that before because I wanted to make sure that the clouds stayed bright, but not too bright to overwhelm where the stars were. I think that helps a lot. I really like it. Because I'm taking wherever there's a lot of stars and kind of just brightening those areas only. And that's not something I could have done ahead of time because the stars are so random. I might actually pull out the other one, the little one, and do this to that too. I can also bring a little bit of violet back into this, and that's really nice. I think that looks good. All right, let's grab the little one quick and just do a little bit of that there. Oops, that's not bright enough. Yes, much better. Cool. All right. Just wanted to add a little bit in there, I think. Just so it's not so flat, because that area was a little flat. So I still feel like the mountain is too saturated, too green. And what I'm going to do is on Tuesday when I paint is I'm going to go into the sketchbook and go over the test I have, the little swatch of that blue. And we'll see how that goes. If I want to do a wash on this before I start adding the detail in the snow. But I'm not super thrilled about how this looks, but I am very thrilled about how the sky looks. MCL Blue says, I literally can't see any green on the mountain, so I'll just take your word for it. So, it's just, like if you think of your color wheel, and like if you think of blue, like really, really blue, where's my cyan? This blue. It's so tiny, you can't tell. This blue. Like how blue this is, you can shift this towards violet, going towards red, or you can shift it towards green, going towards yellow. So like, it's not quite this blue. It's like slightly shifted towards green on the color wheel. Which, ooh, I have a color wheel. Perfect. Color wheel. Let me organize this perfectly and put the color in the middle I need. So, here's our blue, and here's like desaturated lighter blues. I want it to be like more blue-violet, like these blues. This might be even too violet. And right now it's sitting more towards like blue-green. I need it to be like more here, cooler, and not as warm. I take that back. Yeah, this is cooler. So it's too green. It needs to shift. But I can't shift it towards saturation because I don't want it to be saturated. We have atmospheric perspective going on. It needs to get pushed back. So it needs to be gray, blue, violet-ish. So it's not quite there. It's kind of where I want it to be, but not exactly. We got a little bit of work to do on that. All right, it is kind of turquoise. It is a little turquoise. Less turquoise, more gray. My assumption is I'm going to have to mix a color new, fresh, because the one I've been using is just tinted too much with everything else. It's just kind of a mess of a lot. And then repaint it is going to kind of have to be what I think I need to do. Very convenient the color wheel is in reach. There's a lot on these carts. The stuff, the brushes are on top because they have to not get hit by anything. And then I have these little containers that hang off the side. And like this is the red one, so this has all my reds in it. And so I have one for all the main colors, I have 2 for neutrals, and 1 for my primaries that I use a lot. All right, so let's wrap up. Let's start by doing this. So thank you to my Patreon supporters on patreon.com. If you are interested in that and the perks that come with that, you can check out the links that one of the mods will have in chat. Thank you, Fossix and Vagabond. And for things coming up, it's Friday, which means there is Tears of the Kingdom tonight. And we have a map that was given to us by our spirit coyote. So we're going to continue working on that, finishing up shrines. I know there's a labyrinth to do. So we have stuff to do tonight, so it's going to kind of be a lot of things happening at once. So I'm excited about that. Otherwise, I hit partner, which is great, and I'm super excited about that. Next week I will have my normal stream schedule, and then going forward from there, things might change a little bit, because I do have a deadline on this painting. I do need to get it done, so we're gonna change up things after. I'm gonna do Dark Cloud on Monday, and then from there I may change up exactly timing and whatever. But I'll make sure I announce it and talk about it. So yeah. Thanks everyone for being here. And I think that's all the information I have. I know Steven's editing Japan vlogs, but we have a little bit of a busy weekend, so I'm not sure. I know there's one almost done. I don't know how many more will be done and complete going forward for a few days. Let's make sure I balance this right while I'm gone so it doesn't fall or something. Yeah. And thanks everyone for supporting me to get partner, because it's been great. I've been really enjoying painting and hanging out. Cool. Well, I will see you guys tonight. If not, I will see you next week for Dark Cloud on Monday, and painting definitely next week will happen. Like I said, deadline on this, so there's a lot to do yet. Hope everyone has a good Friday, and I will see you tonight.